A brand new Camaro ZL1 1LE, and I'm pissed. Well, actually, I didn't buy one, but I tried to buy one. I've been trying to buy one, and the experience has been absolutely, I don't know what word to use, but it's not been a good one. Basically, it all started with a dream of, I fell in love with this car. It's an amazing car. It's absolutely tremendous amount of value. I mean, for a little over $70,000, what you're getting is just amazing. But I heard things about the suspension being a little bit harsh. And in general, if I'm going to spend that kind of money, I want to actually experience what it's like to drive the car. So I went into the Chevrolet website, clicked on the request a test drive option. And then the fun started. The games began. Started getting a bunch of emails from a bunch of dealerships, and I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm busy, and I had a lot of other stuff going on. So in terms of, yeah, I wanted to test drive it, but I didn't want to test drive it at that particular moment, or I didn't have time to. And then I got a bunch of emails, so I just kind of like, I'll get to that later on. And then they keep emailing you, and then it's a little overwhelming because you have multiple dealerships emailing you. I don't know who's who said what. I'm not really following the conversations at all, because all I literally do is I look at my mailbox and I see these hey, such and such Chevrolet has contacted you about your request or whatever. And I don't even open it to read it because, again, I have other priorities, right? Business first. So at some point in time, I get closer to, all right, now let me go see about actually test driving the car. So I just jump on one of the random emails. Again, I don't know who's who. They're all the same to me at this point. I haven't spoken to anyone. I get in contact with one, speak on the phone. They say, come on in. I go in there, and the experience wasn't that good. I kind of go in, and I felt kind of lost. There are just people all over the place walking around. No one really greeted me. I told them I was on my way 20 minutes before I arrived, and I expected to get there and hey, I mean, when you're selling a car that costs $70,000, the kind of person who has the money to afford a car like that, you don't get that kind of money by just kind of wasting a lot of time, right? Time is very precious to a person who can afford a car like that, right? So I don't have time to waste, right? I clicked on a button to request a test drive. I told them I'm coming in. Let's get it over with, right? No games and dancing around. So anyway, walked around trying to find someone to help me. I actually ended up texting them from the store. I'm in the dealer, but I'm texting them or calling them. They're like, hey, I'm here. Where are you? Where do I go? Because again, no one greeted me. Lady comes out. She talks to me. She says she can get a salesman for me. I mean, that should have been taken care of before, right? Why are you waiting for me to get in to get a salesman? But anyway, so I wait a little bit. They get a salesman. He's really good, but he's selling me a car. I didn't come to be sold a car. I already am sold on the car. I just need the test drive to sort of get me off the fence, because there's certain questions I have in terms of, it looks great on paper. I appreciate that the reviewers love it, but if I'm the one that's paying for it, I want to know how much I'm going to love it. So there's a couple of details I wanted to figure out to sort of solidify whether this is what I want or not, right? Hence the test drive. So ended up wasting my time there. I mean, I waste my time in terms of I went there for a specific purpose to do a test drive. I didn't get a test drive. I kind of got sold to, but it was great talking to the salesman. He really knew the products, good information. He didn't know the products to the extent that he had actually driven a car, and certainly not, driving it at all would be great, but really driving it would be better. So having it on the racetrack and stuff like that, you could really communicate some valuable information, which would be helpful to me as a customer. But again, I came there for a test drive, not for information. So then I'm told, oh, they need to get an approval, blah, blah. This is weeks ago, right? Fine, get an approval, whatever. $70,000 vehicle, right? My first interaction with Chevrolet. My first interaction with this particular dealership. And I go there to do a test drive. I don't get a test drive. I get sold to. Then I'm told they need approval for a test drive. And then they don't follow up. Now I realize it's not a lot of margin. You got to think about a car that does what the Camaro ZL1 1LE does. Probably not a lot of margin in it in terms of them making profit. So it's not a big ticket item for them to like, yeah, let's sell this car and make that profit on it, right? This car is really sort of a halo car, sort of a flagship. It's really a marketing thing, right? I mean, it's an awesome marketing thing because the car is the real deal, but essentially, it's not designed to be a moneymaker, at least not directly, right? Indirectly from the press and it being a legendary car and people talking about it, and what are you talking about? You're talking about a Chevrolet vehicle, right? So Chevrolet is getting press from this, and good press, you know, tremendous press. If they can do this, whatever this car is doing, imagine what they can do in the other cars, right? So you're not going to buy 1LE, ZL1 1LE, but maybe you're going to buy a Camaro SS or even one of the other models, right? That's what you can afford, but there's that connection with this car was made by the same company that made the Camaro. And just also, again, the press, right? Just the fact of you watching a review about how amazing this car is, and in your brain, you're thinking Chevrolet, you're looking at Chevrolet. So when you're looking to buy a car, that's fresh in your mind, right? If not for this car, maybe when you're looking to buy a car, you don't even consider Chevrolet. You didn't even think about Chevrolet, right? Because you have no interest in Chevrolet. You know, you never had one, right? Now with this review, now you might be like, oh, I'm looking for a car. Let me see what Chevrolet has to offer. I'm not looking for a Camaro, but so anyway, you get the point, right? So it's not a big profit thing. It's more of a marketing thing, but still, right? A customer is coming in at a car like that, going to spend that kind of money, and this is how you introduce me to the brand, and this is how you introduce me to your dealership. Not very good. So that was a waste of time. Then the next thing is I got a bunch of dealerships that call me, and it's the same thing. They keep calling me, sending me emails. They're like, hey, we want to help you out with your Camaro. And I'll get right to it.